What does meta mean? Meta is one confusing word to hold down, but I got it understood. It's a suffix, so it connects to a lot of other words, but that suffix do belong to one general word, and I can prove it. So let's go ahead and get into it and see what I can reveal to you guys today. We'll start with the modern definition first. So right here it says meta, of a creative work, referring to itself or to the conventions of its genre. Self-referential. And here go another definition that's worded slightly different, but it will help us understand it more. It says showing or suggesting an explicit awareness of itself or oneself as a member of its category. Cleverly self-referential. So for an example, that's like a scientist coming up to you breaking down exactly what humanity is, the whole anatomy of a human, and let you know where humans came from and where they're going. That will be completely meta, especially to the average civilian running around here. They don't know none of their science, don't know what they're made of, don't know their anatomy whatsoever, and definitely don't know where they're going. You see? So a meta will be completely to know yourself in a sense too. But I'm also going to show you how meta is used in other forms, and also from the original way it's supposed to be used, using the original definition of it. So here's the original definition right here in Greek. It says, with, across, or after. Now, a lot of people will hear that and be like, okay, what is that talking about? Well, basically, you can sum this up with to go beyond. But with, across, or after is basically basing the definition of meta on the word we know as metamorphosis. And the reason why that is because that's what that is saying. With means as is, mean what you are right now or what you was then. And then across mean to transform or to start changing. And then after is what you became after you was the with and went across and then changed. Now, what are you now? The after. And this will be the meta. You going beyond what you once were. You see what I'm saying? Which really all comes down to the word metamorphosis. We all metamorphed into the womb. We was first energy in water, and then we metamorphed into these human beings. You see? And this is where you get the word Morpheus from too. Metamorpheus. Metamorphosis. You see what I'm saying? Because Morpheus in the Matrix, his job was to find Neo and take him through a transition from being programmed inside the Matrix, not knowing himself, to being freed from the Matrix and knowing who he was and regaining all his powers. You see what I'm saying? Because Morpheus was responsible for freeing people's minds. And those people that was in the Matrix, that was being freed by Morpheus, he was taking them through a transformation. They was being reborn. Like when the Christians say you will be reborn, they was being reborn, which birth represents transformation, metamorphosis. You see what I'm saying? That's what the whole birth concept is about. Morpheus was responsible for taking Neo through a transformation, which is, transformation is a metamorphosis, taking from one state to another state. You see, this is what chemistry is about too. Chemistry is about metamorphing things, taking things from one state into another state. You see, I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of what metamorphosis really is, or what meta really is denoting. You see what I'm saying? Because it says right here to transform or change shape, and that is going beyond, just like the other definition, with, across, or after. This is talking about going from one state and going across to transform into another state and what you become afterwards. You see what I'm saying? So this is the key understanding of meta. It's the same understanding of converting something. It's to go from one state of being to another state of being. And that's what they call going beyond. This is all chemistry. The whole universe is chemicals. We are made of chemicals. That's what chemistry is about, is converting things, transformation, metamorphosis, you see? And what this comes down to when we put it in the context of the Matrix is transhumanism. They're talking about transhumanism in the Matrix, right? Basically, integrating man with AI, artificial intelligence, right? And that will be the metamorphosis, is the transhumanism, you see? So now we know that meta means beyond, based on transformation and metamorphosis, right? So now that we know what meta is, now we're going to be able to understand what metacortex means. Cortex is the outer layer of your organs, okay? That's what cortex means, the outer layer of an organ. But why would they name this building metacortex? The secret is in the geometry and the architecture of the building, you see? So let's get into it. So I'm going to show you guys a few things that a lot of people missed in the movie Matrix. And why is it so important and so relevant today, right now? As you guys know, Neo worked for a company called Metacortex. If you didn't know it, that's the company that he worked for, was Metacortex, right? And here he is on this picture talking to his boss inside of that company, you see? And the movie Matrix is about virtual reality and transhumanism. That's what the movie's about. So, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, he renamed Facebook to Meta now, which is short for metaverse. And they are now providing virtual reality, you see? So not only did they take the name of the computer software company that Neo worked for, they're actually trying to pull off the same scheme that happened in the Matrix in their own kind of way. And we all know that movies is pre-programming anyway, right? In order to make you accept the new things that they bring about in your life. You see what I'm saying? So what I want to show you guys here is we see those correlations. We know that Matrix was about virtual reality. We know that Facebook's metaverse is about virtual reality. So we see those connections, but let me show you what most people don't see. What most people don't know is that metacortex actually have to do with all the organs in your body. The cortex to the organs, okay? You have the cortex inside of the brain. You also have cortex of other organs. Now they don't name every outer layer of a organ a cortex, but nevertheless, every organ have a cortex, okay? The cortex or the organs were created through the metamorphosis process. The formation of organs is actually the whole point to the metamorphosis process. There is no metamorphosis process without no formation of organs, okay? So that's what the metamorphosis process is. It's all about the formation of organs, cells creating organs, and all of these organs having a cortex. So when they say in meta, they're saying going beyond the cortex, or transforming the cortex, or upgrading the cortex / organs, right? So like I told you, every organ have a cortex, right? And if you look at the geometry and architecture of this building that says metacortex, it's a spine, right? So the question is why would they make it, excuse me, the question is why would they make it a spine? The reason why being is because this is a computer software company dealing with electronics. All of your electrical wires that they call your nervous system are all connected into your spine. They're all coming from your spine. So the wires throughout all your bodies that they call nerves, which are also called neurons, they're all coming from the spine, the central nervous system, which the central nervous system, I personally don't believe they should call it a nervous system at all, because to be nervous implies that somebody is scared or something. But really what I think it should be called is what it is, and that's an electrical system. Because the human body, along with the other animals' bodies, are the oldest machinery, electrical machinery on Earth. So when the ancients were dissecting bodies and stuff like that, cadavers or whatever, they were able to see their electronic wiring in their body. And this is where they came with the idea of making electronic wires, period. Matter of fact, like I showed you right here, the metacortex building is a spine, right? Well, the spine is one of the main models they use in order to make a multi-electrical circuit board. So your circuit breaker in your house is a multi-electrical circuit board. You see what I'm saying? And that goes along with all of our electronics everywhere. You see what I'm saying? The spine is the key center model to all electronics because, like I said, the body is the most ancient electrical system that exists, right along with the animals and the trees and everything else. These are all electrical systems. And all of the animals and everything on this planet shares the trait of a spine and electrical wires coming off of it. You see what I'm saying? So this is where they even get this from. And this is also connected to the djed pillar in Egypt, in the Temple of Dendra, right? And it so happens that our nerves have things at the end of them called dendrites, which is responsible for electrical transmission, right? So what's the chances of this spine, which a spine, we know that nerves come off of it, and nerves is the electrical system, right? So what's the chances of this actually representing the nerves that are in our body and how we came to understand getting electricity and wiring systems like we do? Because we know that the spine sends out all the electrical wires throughout your whole body. And it's all controlled from that central nervous system, from that central control panel. Just like in your house. You see, your house got the circuit breaker, and from that circuit breaker, your wires go all out throughout your house. And that circuit breaker control all the power in your house, right from that one point. You see? So they got the understanding of wires and electricity and all that stuff coming from nature, the human bodies or the animal bodies, just cutting them open and dissecting them and seeing all the wiring systems in there, coming off from a spine, a central nervous system. And that's what this picture that's in Egypt, that's in the Temple of Dendra, is trying to tell us. It's trying to show us that the understanding of electricity and light, which is what they call life today, all came from the understanding of the nervous system, which isn't a nervous system at all. It's just an electrical system, right? Like, do they call the wires inside your walls at home, do they call that a nervous system? No, because nervous implies that someone is scared of something or being scared of something, right? So it's an electrical system. Just call it what it is. You see what I mean? Because what they don't want you guys to understand is that we're all literally walking around with an electrical spine, with an electrical circuit board as a spine on our back. We're powered up, people. That's what this is all about. And that's what you're looking at on the screen with metacortex and the matrix. You see, we're powered up. And they want to merge AI with you. That's what this is all about. Because once you find out that they copy your electrical system, that's when you realize how powerful you are. See, they're charging you for SMUD right now. But wait a minute. Y'all got this whole idea from the Temple of Dendra. You see what I'm saying? Y'all got this whole idea from my spine. You see? And now y'all want to cut me out the deal and won't give me my freedom and let me do what I need to do and have free energy? Like Gaddafi was going to let his people have? Saying it was free energy and free homes because that was basic human rights? Why? Because this is us. It ain't just our energy, it's literally us. You see what I'm saying? This djed pillar is talking about our spine, our electrical spines. And the matrix is also talking about our electrical spines, with the metacortex building being the spine, right? And you see Neo, he's inside of that building right now talking to his boss, inside of a building that's a spine. You wonder why that is. Because Neo in this picture is still hooked up into the matrix. He's asleep in one of those pods with them plugs still connecting into his spine, which is his central nervous system, right? And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the nerves, right? So while he's asleep right now, he's at the company working inside of a spine. While they got these things hooked into his spine. And that's in Matrix 1. So Matrix 4, as you can see, there's 4 lines, there's 4 pillars There's 4 lines on this djed pillar, right? So on matrix 4, it was called resurrection. And that's what the backbone of Osiris represents. It represents resurrection. That's what this djed pillar represents. It represents resurrection. And as you can see, they're resurrecting electricity, the spark of life, life force energy. It's where we get our electricity from. And that's why you have the male and the female aspect in this picture too. You see, because this is talking about resurrection. So when there's a sexual situation, right, the male will get erect, you see? And when someone get erect, a spirit is about to resurrect, meaning rise again. So when you get erect, a spirit is about to resurrect and rise again, you see? This is how we understood electricity in the first place. We understood it by the human body. We understood what the human body was doing through dissection or whatever they was doing, right? And they understood the electricity that flew through the human body, through the nervous system. Period. That's what it is. So it ain't no coincidence that this is the Temple of Dendra, and these guys code about the nervous system and calling the branches on it dendrites. And dendrites do mean tree. And dendrites is responsible for electrical transmission. So if dendrites mean tree and it's responsible for electrical transmission, then that means the tree of light, which is what they're calling the tree of life. And in our direct case, that will be our nervous system. Our nervous system is a tree. The djed pillar is said to be made of tree. But it's not just a tree, it's a tree of light because it's dealing with electrical transmission and conducting consciousness, right? And this is where they get your Christmas trees from, right? I know Christmas trees is connected to a whole lot of other witchcraft and stuff like that, right? But the Christmas tree basically supposed to represent the human electrical system that we call a nervous system, right? Because the tree also represents a spine, you see? That's lit up, having electrical responses and transmissions and action potentials. It's a tree of light. And when you read about the nervous system, it pretty much just tell you that, right? It says the nervous system serves as the body control center and communication, electrical, chemical, wiring network, right? It is a complex collection of nerves and specialized cells. Oh, let me read that back. I'm going to say it again. It is a complex collection of electrical wires and specialized cells known as neurons that transmit signals between different parts of the body. So it's chemicals conducting the electricity. You see? So if you can see, they're trying to hide the fact that they already know what this picture means that's in the Temple of Dendra. Because they sit here and made a code for it. That wire that's coming from under there, that's an exon. Okay? And it's a dendrite and a terminal to it. You see? See, this all comes down to controlling the light of the man. Using that light of a man in order to control the whole world and make them pay for the very energy that they are. That's what this is all about. Ain't that right, Illuminati? Ain't that right, light bringers, Luciferians? That's what this is about, right? That we're all walking around with a damn circuit board as a spine. And you're charging us for energy. When in fact, you got this whole idea of electricity from our understanding of our resurrection stories. Y'all see how sinister this is? This is why corporate America want all of your energy. This is why they're harvesting everybody's energy, making them go to work, making them pay taxes and doing all this stuff, right? Because this is what the game is all about. It's all about utilizing your energy. So the only way they're going to be able to continue to do that with this kind of information out here is to connect you straight to some kind of hard system. And y'all know what system that is. They've been putting it up for the last, I say, 5 years or something like that. They've been putting them up. This major network that I'm sure they're connecting everybody to because they're connecting everything to it, right? And now it's coming to the point of transhumanism. This is where we're at right now. You see, this need for power, which is control to them, has gotten out of control. And now they want to give you this old boxing jab. You know that boxing jab, that one that knock you out as soon as you take it, right? Yeah, they want to give you that. And that has nanotechnology in it, which is a form of liquid electronics. And nanotechnology is AI. So once people take that boxing jab, that is transhumanism, period. Ain't no way around it. And the boxing jab is going to be the thing that hook you up to the metaverse. It ain't going to be these headsets that they're giving out. The headsets are just a diversion in order to throw you off. No, it's going to be the actual jab that will be connecting you to their AI, to their artificial dimensions and metaverse. You see what I'm saying? See, we are all part of the metaverse already. The metaverse really comes from the law of one. The law of one is understood by, say, the light spectrum or atoms or the sun. All that's coming from the dielectric black light, which is also magnetism. And it makes the hybrid that we call electromagnetic energy. And that's the law of one. All coming from one source. So now they want to take over the law of one and put it all in AI. You see what I'm saying? So the law of one is based on the universal laws and natural laws. Okay? The light created the laws. The light created creation. So therefore it had to create the laws because the laws is written within the fabric of the creation in the form of atoms or light or spectrum. You see? Because we know the light comes first. That's why the word start is the word star. Because all of creation started in the stars, in the core of stars. You see what I'm saying? And you can see that on the dollar bill that we have, right? Because this is all based on universal law, natural law, which is the law of one, which is all come from the source, light. That is the law of one. And this is why on this dollar bill, you see a man right by the one. So look at the right-hand side corner or the left-hand side corner, and you see the one. And on the inside corner of the one, you will see a man with his arms out and his legs, and he's all intertwined within all of these webs. Well, these webs right here are universal laws and natural laws. They represent the light, and that light being the law of one. Now, how does it represent the light? Because a spider web, the way a spider knows that something is on his web is through vibration. So basically, this is a code for vibration, which vibration represents waves. It represents the light. So these spider webs are literally light waves or sound waves, vibrational waves. You see what I'm saying? And through all that network of vibration and waves going throughout the universe, we are all bounded within the laws of those waves. And that is the universal laws and the natural laws and the law of one, which is light. You see what I'm saying? And that vibration created all, you know? And that's why all these webs are interconnected into one. And it says, in God we trust, one. You see? And they got the pyramid on the dollar bill. The dollar bill is the only bill that has the pyramid on it. The rest of the bills have architecture of like White House and Capitol and stuff like that on it. You see what I'm saying? Because the reason why they have the pyramid on the $1 bill is because the pyramid represents one of the first architectures. You see what I'm saying? And this architecture was built based on light. It literally had the flower of life on the top of the pyramid when you look at the lines that cut down the sides. It's the center of the flower of life. And that pyramid is the zodiac wheel. Okay? And it represents the 4 seasons and the connection to the constellations in the heavens. Okay? And that's why they got the pyramid on the $1 bill. And you see the light, you see the eye with the light around it. That light represents the law of one. It also represents the sun and Sirius too. But I'm just saying right now it represents the law of one because we're talking about the light. But all lights, no matter what star system one might be from, it's still them coming from the light. You see what I'm saying? The word star is the word start because all life or all laws start with the stars, with the light. And so do all creation. So that's why the light is the law of one, because it's source to all. Period. Ain't no way around that. So I'm showing you guys all that just to let you know that these computer tech companies, specifically the one that I got here up on the screen, you know who that is right there, right? They're trying to duplicate the natural law of one, which is based on light, and take that power of the light and create AI with it to entrap everybody into their AI system, which will be their power, which will have you trapped under their law of one. Okay? Not under the real law of one, under the stars, but connected to a digital electronic system. And this is why the ones that rule over you, you know, refer to themselves as names like Luciferians and Illuminatis and stuff like that, or Masons, because they're all talking about the light. Luciferians being the light bringers, Illuminati being the light holders, Masons being the builders using enlightenment. You see, all this comes back to the law of one, which is the understanding of universal law and natural law coming from the light. And they use this science to understand you and me and to make AI today. And this is how they figure they're going to control the world, through AI. And they're doing a pretty good job. As long as people say stupid like they are and ignorant like they are right now, this thing is going to work. This thing is going to go through. Okay? But if people want to get smart and want to wake up, we can end all this off right here, right now. But it's going to take people to unite based on what's right. You see? Not just based on whatever. People need to unite based on what's right. You know, I know people don't see eye to eye for all different kind of reasons. But people should be able to see eye to eye, at least, for this one thing. You see what I'm saying? Because they're going to do this to all of you. That's what it is. So, I hope everybody got something out of this video. This is it right here. As you can see, everybody got an electrical spine. And this electrical spine have been duplicated into electronics. And now they're using those same electronics that they copied from our body as a weapon against us. Because we all have a multi-electrical circuit board on our backs. That is so important to know. Don't stop looking at that like that's like whatever. You have an electrical circuit board on your back, and all other electrical circuit boards came from the ideal and the model of your spine. So if you want to know how powerful you are, just take a look at this. Just think about this and understand what I'm showing you here. You are so powerful, and this is why they want to control you. Okay?
Written on it, you know, and I love that, and I love the aspect of the AI and the machines taking over. You know, we have cars that drive themselves, and that's a convenience right now, but soon there won't be a steering wheel, and it'll take you to the police station when you have outstanding parking tickets, and, you know, it'll be like that. So we've got a lot to look forward to. You know, if that happens, it'd be a real blast to see where he goes, because it's not only the machines that control us from the outside, it'll be the machines that control us from the inside. You know, the nanotechnology. You know, you're talking to a person and they're watching a movie in their retina. You know, it would be hard to get everybody's attention. I think it's something anybody can enjoy. You know, I think the kids are going to have a blast, and the parents won't mind being there.